So, stat points. Stat points are very, very important in this game as they determine how much health you have, how much damage you do, and how much energy you can have. So I'm going to be giving you guys a complete stat build guide for every single build in this game right now. So let's start this video off with leveling build stat points. Now there are two main ways to level up in Blox. That's with Buddha and that's with Logia. First, I'll be showing you guys how you should put your stat points if you are a Buddha. So as you guys know, every time you level up, you get 3 stat points. And if you're a Buddha, what you're going to want to do with those 3 stat points is do a 2-to-1 ratio where you put 2 points in melee and 1 in defense. Now the reason you don't want to put anything into Blox, gun, or sword. So first off, sword, melee is better as it gives energy too and damage than sword. So you don't want to put anything in sword. Gun, it's not good, doesn't have AoE with M1s. And Blox, Buddha Blox, you don't really use that for grinding. So you just want to keep it in melee and defense. So for this 2-to-1 ratio, every time you level up, you get 3 stat points, and you're going to want to put that in a 2-to-1 ratio. So 3 melee and 2 Blox. Say I level up again, then you want to put 5 and then 3. So what if you have like a really big number and you haven't been putting stat points in a lot? So basically you're just going to want to take, say you have like 600, 2/3 of 600 would be like 400. So you're going to want to put 400 into melee, 200 into defense. You always want to have more melee. A way you can check this is by multiplying your defense by 2, and you should get your melee number, or at least 1 above. So in the end, when you get to max melee, it should look something like this. You have 2,400 melee, 1,200 in defense, or this number might keep rising because of the updates. You just want to keep on bumping that up. So you want to hit max melee first. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to max out defense and only defense. So bump all your stat points into defense until you get to 2,400. Now when you reach this, stat points can kind of vary and which playstyle you want to go. Personally, I put sword points before Blox points just because I could AFK swords with Buddha, and that's so much easier than because I can't AFK Blox when I had Buddha. But it's so much easier to AFK swords with Buddha. The next form of leveling is Logia fruits. Now, Logia fruits are a lot more different than Buddha. So, this one, there's no really method. This is just kind of preference. You're going to want to keep Blox fruits the highest, and then you're going to want to have melee and defense around the same. So, say I have like 300 or like 324 points at Blox fruits. I'm going to probably want around like, let's say, I don't know, maybe like 100 in melee, 100 in defense. There's no like ratio you can really follow with compared to Buddha because it's not as easy as that. But you're always gonna want to have more Blox points than melee and defense, because if you're using a Logia fruit, you're not really gonna need a lot of defense. You're only gonna need defense when you're doing boss fights, because bosses can actually hit you through Logia. And then obviously you need melee for energy. So yeah, you should just get Blox to 2,400, and then you should level up these two accordingly, so they each like level up the same pace, and then eventually you'll get both of these maxed out to 2,400. Alright, now let's move on to PvP builds. So you should really only start PvPing when you get to max level. And for PvP, there's 3 main builds you want to run. There's the Blox main build, there's the sword main build, and there's the gun main build. Right here, what we're looking at right here is the Blox main build. You want 2,400 melee for, obviously you can do melee attacks and you have a lot of energy. You want this for maximum defense, and then you want this for maximum devil fruit damage. That's basically the whole run through. A lot of people run this. This is probably the most popular build. But yeah, if you're running a devil fruit main build, then you're just going to want to run these points. If you're running a sword main build, you don't want any Blox, and you want 2,400 in sword. Now personally, I like this much better. It's because Blox has a lot more support, so it's easier to hit people with combos than with if you're having a Blox main and you only have sword for your support, because sword only has 2 moves, while Blox can have like up to 6. So this is what I like personally. I like sword mains a lot better, but you just want the same build with 2,400 in your sword for sword damage, and then you want your gun and Blox for your support. Now for gun mains, you're just going to want the same concept where you want 2,400 or whatever the max it is and your gun, and then your defense, and then your melee. Obviously, your gun will do a lot of damage, your sword will be support, and your Blox fruit will be for support. Now, if you guys want, I will make a video on the best support swords, support gun swords, and Blox fruit supports. So if you want that video, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Finally, the last builds there is the hybrid build. Now, hybrid builds are very, very tricky. For me personally, I think the best way to go around with a hybrid build is to find a build with like all your moves, your guns, your sword, your devil fruit. You want to find a build like that with your gun, sword, and devil fruit that is really, really good, and that you can just do, and that you're really, like, you've mastered that build. And then you're gonna want to implement hybrid stats into that, so whatever you do, it does a lot of damage. So when you reach max level and you refund your stats, you're gonna have around this much. Hybrid builds, you're kind of gonna have to play around with them. But if I was running, because I'm running Door, Pole V2, and Talon, and Soul Guitar, I might put something like this. You want good defense, so I might do like 2,000 defense. Melee, I use my Dragon Talent for melee, so I probably want that to be pretty high, so I maybe do like 1,800. Sword, I use sword a lot too, so I probably also want that at 1,800. I don't use gun as much, so I probably won't put as much as I do in melee and sword. Maybe I should actually bump this up a bit, 2,000. And then gun, maybe I could put like 1,100 in here, and then Blox fruits, maybe I could put like 97 in here, because I don't really use Blox fruits a lot. I only use the Z move for damage, just for combo extending. So yeah, maybe with my build I was running, I could use something like this. I could have 2,000 melee, 2,000 defense, 2,000 sword, 1,100 gun, and 97 Blox fruits, following this right here, obviously. So for hybrid builds, you're kind of just going to want to follow a build that you've mastered. And this build that you've mastered, I recommend you use one of the 3 main stat builds to first start off with. I recommend you use main to start off with before you switch to hybrid. You're going to have to test around a lot with hybrid builds so you can find that perfect, absolutely perfect build. So it dishes out the perfect amount of damage. You're going to want to find that. Because maybe even I can lower my defense a lot, because if I'm using Door, then I probably won't take a lot of damage because I'm using Door and I can escape a lot of things easily. So maybe I can lower my defense a bit and put that more into, like, I lower 200. Maybe I can put like 50 into here. Maybe like, I say 100 into here, and then 50 into here. I could do something like that. Because I'm Door, I don't take a lot of damage. So you kind of have to play around with that. Find like the perfect ratio to stat build over everything that you have, just so it can deal out just that nice amount of damage. So yeah, that's the video. Those are the 6 types of stat builds you want. You want the leveling up with your Logia, leveling up with Buddha, the 3 main, PvP, and then your hybrid. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. I hope this was helpful, and if you found it helpful, please subscribe, like, and turn on notifications down below. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, join our Discord. I'll leave a link down to it in the description. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a Merry Christmas.